Hello friends, this is Ralph, and in today's video I'm showing you how I am patching my personal signature bass sound on the Behringer 2600 semi-modular synthesizer, so stay tuned. A couple of years ago, I made a tutorial about how I was patching my signature bass sound on the original ARP 2600. I put the link to that original video into the description below. You may want to check it out. There are two reasons for making a video about patching my bass sound on the Behringer 2600. Reason 1. The VCO section of the Behringer 2600 is actually superior in functionality to the VCO section of the original ARP 2600. This offers a few more sound variety options for the bass patch on the Behringer 2600 than on the ARP 2600. I have already made a detailed tutorial about the VCO section of the Behringer 2600. If you want to familiarize yourself with the Behringer 2600 VCOs, then kindly check out my video. The link is provided below. Reason 2. Behringer just announced the Toro Synth, which is based on the legendary Moog Taurus 1 bass synthesizer. The Moog Taurus 1 was used by several legends of rock music, such as Police, Rush and Genesis, to just name a few. Anyway, that announcement got me into a bass synthesizer mood. Therefore, without any further ado, let's start with today's tutorial.
Alright, since this is not a tutorial for beginners, I will be going through the patch rather quickly. I expect you to have a basic understanding about modular synthesizers, and preferably you also have some knowledge about the Behringer 2600, ARP 2600 or another 2600 clone. If you are new to the world of modular synthesizers and the Behringer 2600, then I encourage you to first watch my beginner video series about the Behringer 2600 and the ARP 2600. You will find the playlist to that video series in the description below. Before we go ahead, please be informed that I have connected an Arturia keystep to the Behringer 2600 Grey Meanie via MIDI. Okay, now let's start with a patch tutorial. Okay, you can see oscillator number 2 and 3 are tuned to an A, and oscillator number 1 is tuned 1 octave below. Alright, we start with oscillator number 2. You see the pre-wire connection is a pulse waveform, and that's how we are going to start. Here with this slider we can set the width of the pulse, and we are going to modulate this with the ADSR. So we take the ADSR output and plug it here into the pulse width modulation slot of oscillator number 2. So, and now listen what's happening as I bring up this slider. You can hear that the ADSR is modulating the pulse width, and the sound has become a little bit more powerful with some kind of chorus. Okay, now let's move to oscillator number 3. The pre-wire connection is a sawtooth waveform. But also for this oscillator we are going to use the pulse waveform. So we take here the pulse output of oscillator number 3 and plug it here into the VCO3 slot of the filter mixer, overriding the pre-wired connection. And now we can hear the pulse waveform. And now we are going to modulate the pulse width of oscillator number 3 as well. But this time we are not going to use the ADSR, but we are going to use the LFO. So therefore we are taking the LFO sine wave output and plug it here into the pulse width modulation slot of oscillator number 3. And now listen what's happening when I bring up the slider. And now let's bring in oscillator number 2. Okay, these are oscillator number 2 and oscillator number 3 playing, and on both oscillator the pulse width is being modulated on oscillator number 2 with the ADSR and on oscillator number 3 with the LFO. And now we are going to use oscillator number 1 to modulate the frequency of oscillator number 2. So let's just listen to oscillator number 2 here. And now I bring in oscillator number 1 to modulate the frequency of oscillator number 2. Listen. And now we bring in the other oscillators in the filter mix as well. Adding some reverb. And now we add a little bit of external chorus. Delay and reverb.
This bass patch is not limited to the Behringer 2600 synthesizer. You can transfer the patch principle to another semi-modular synthesizer, provided that it has similar functionalities like the Behringer 2600. Just try to apply the patch principle to the synthesizer that you have at your disposal. See what you are coming up with, and most important, have fun. If you want to watch more tutorials about the Behringer 2600 and the ARP 2600, then you may want to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet. And also check out my tutorial playlist. The links are provided in the video description below. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in my next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, peace.